Namaste. The reason for this particular video is to help those women who are stuck in a manipulative relationship. I used to be a very manipulative, abusive type of man in my youth, and I have friends who are going through what I put women through many years ago. And so I understand from the inside out what the guys are doing and why they're doing it. I've also been through many years of therapy, a great many years of meditation, and have spent time in a Buddhist monastery studying my own behaviors. And that is my expertise in this matter. My reason for helping in this way isn't to help a woman stay with a manipulative, abusive man, or to try and make the relationship work. The reason that I make the video is so that you don't get caught up in the drama that such a relationship creates. Feel free to ask questions and I'll make videos based on those questions. But this is going to be an ongoing series. I'm also going to offer, for a small fee, individual counseling, either through Skype or through phone. And because I do need to make a living, but I am generous with my time. So the first thing that I would like for you to know is that it is not your job to fix anybody. No changes of your behavior is going to make him feel more comfortable, less triggered. It may work for short periods of time, but the problem isn't in you. If you are a faithful woman and are really trying to be in the relationship, then there's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can do that will make him feel better. If he is not actively in therapy and really working on it, then my advice is to limit your exposure to him. The problem comes from within. When someone is like highly jealous or controlling in a way that's not consensual, then it comes from a lot of times, if not all the time, from a lack of self-esteem. If I don't think that I am good enough for you, then I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to make you think that you are not good enough for me or for any other man, and that I'm the only one that will deign to support you, to love you, to be with you. And that's patently not true. I'm ashamed of the fact that many years ago I was such a man. I was so bad that I would check the baskets when I came home from work to find out if there were any hairs in the basket that didn't belong to me or my partner. I would sometimes leave work early in order to catch my partner in some nefarious act. And sometimes I did. But what I didn't realize then, but I do realize now, is that I actually pushed them away from me. I pushed them into that behavior. Recently, a friend of mine was in such a relationship, and he would do things like sunbathe in front of her door after they were breaking up. They lived on the same property, just separated by a few hundred feet, and he would come over and sunbathe close to her front door so that he could keep an eye on her and things like that. And now he didn't do that when she wasn't home, as far as we know. He had never done that before in the year and a half that they were together. But that was one of his behaviors once the trouble started. And now, again, it's important to realize that if you are a faithful and honest woman, it is not your fault that you're in this relationship. You may have gotten into the relationship because he convinced you that he needed fixing and you were the one that could fix him. Or perhaps it was just an intense sexual attraction. Or what's more common is that he's a really good talker. And he told you all the things that you wanted to know, all the things you wanted to hear. Oftentimes, mental and emotional manipulators are very intelligent and have a great command of the English language. And they're extremely observant, extremely observant. They're gathering information so that they can use it to trap you further a little ways down the road. So they'll notice your favorite flower or your favorite colors or what you like to eat, things of that nature. They'll notice it very closely. And now there is a difference between a loving, kind relationship and a manipulative relationship. And here's how you can tell. A loving, kind relationship helps you to be free. It helps you to grow. It doesn't want to keep you all locked up for themselves. They don't want to keep you at home locked in the house or dissuade you from going to the gym looking good or anything like that. It's basically what you do on your behavior, on your time, is your business. They trust you to not stray. A manipulative behavior is just the opposite of that. They want to keep you away from other guys. They will sometimes, if there's a party, they'll get sullen and sulk or invite you to, instead of going out to the party that you have been looking forward to for weeks, they'll say, "Oh, that was tonight, and here I made you dinner." And in this way, they keep you at home, safe from your friends, safe from any potential threat to their own egos. This is manipulative behavior. Anyway, so that's enough for this particular video. If you have any questions about a relationship that you're in, if you'd like to learn something about how to deal with the issues in a manipulative relationship, please feel free to either comment below or send me an instant message. You can find me at Yogi Kai on Facebook. It's YOGIKAI. Look for this face. I'm also a balloon artist, so you'll see balloons in the picture, as well as my business card. So you can also drop me an email at nojunkemail, that's EMALE, @yahoo.com. I just thought of one other thing that I'd like to add to this video. I didn't really know what I was doing. I did and I didn't. I had never really experienced what it was like to be in a manipulative relationship from the viewpoint of the victim until I got into a relationship a few years ago with a woman who was extremely jealous. And one of the things that I didn't know before, is as a jealous person, someone who suffered from a great deal of jealousy in my youth, I was unaware that my jealousy actually caused the behaviors that I most wished my partner not to do. I was very scared that my partner would compare me to other guys and find me wanting, which is what I felt myself. I didn't believe that I was worthy. I was raised in an abusive home and was told constantly that I was stupid and that I would never amount to anything. And so that became the mantra by which I considered myself until I was about 25 years old. That's when I entered therapy. And so this woman that I had been in a relationship with, she was so jealous that when we were living at the time in a college town, and we would go out and go bowling, and one time she caught me looking over at another couple of lanes where there was some young, attractive women bowling. And so I looked at them, and then I looked back at my own lane. Now, that was it. I was very much into this woman. I had no interest in them whatsoever in a romantic sort. I was really, really into this young lady that I was dating at the time. And so she clammed up after that for the rest of the bowling session. Then when we got home, we had quite a spat about it. And so after that, every time we would go bowling or do something like that, I found myself looking around the room to find the pretty women and compare them to her to find out whether or not she would think that they were a threat. And if I thought that she thought that it was a threat, I wouldn't look in that direction because I wanted to keep the peace and I wanted to help her feel comfortable. Now, get this is just a couple of years ago. So I already knew that there wasn't anything that I could do. So, that my behavior wasn't going to make her behavior lessen until she actively sought therapy or sought healing from the issues that she was dealing with. She was going to continue to be as she was because of the fact that I am a counselor and I was helping her with some of her issues, not as in the role of counselor because that would be very difficult, but just in subtle ways. I thought that I made a judgment call and it turned out to be incorrect. I should have went with my first opinion and just let her go to therapy on her own and just support her in that endeavor. Anyway, so that's one of the ways that jealousy actually causes the behavior that we most wish not to have. And if you happen to be a jealous individual, someone suffering from jealousy, actually you're not a jealous individual, it's just something that you experience. If you're experiencing heavy jealousy, it's important to note that your jealousy is maybe what's destroying the relationship. Your partner may be totally into you. May see absolutely nobody else. When I was with this woman that I was just mentioning, there was no other woman in the world for me. I was deeply into her, and she could have relaxed. I could have been in a room full of naked young women, and honest to God, no joke, I would have been fine. I wouldn't have strayed because this one, as they say, why have a hamburger when you can have prime rib or something of that nature? I don't eat meat, so that's just a saying, but you get the drift. Anyway, once again, if you decide that you would like to ask some questions, please comment below, subscribe to my channel, email me, look me up on Facebook, and send me a message. My phone number, I believe, is on my card, which is posted on my Facebook page, and I do text. So if you need some help, let me know. I'm going to make more of these videos as questions come in and as I think of things that might be of benefit. Good luck. It's not easy. It's not easy. Namaste.